Brody. You came into my life like a hurricane. You destroyed most of the things that I thought were important. My friends told me it would never work, that I should give you up before you broke my heart. Well, they're eating their words today. Brody, you have changed my life. I thought that I had everything, but it turns out I had nothing. Because of you, I have a reason to get up in the morning. Because of you, I go out for walks in the park, I listen to the birds sing, I feel the sun on my face. And when I go to bed at night, you are there to keep me warm. The bed was too big without you, Brody. And I never knew until you were there to fill it. There are those who say they love me who wouldn't come today. Even some who are here who think that because it won't be written down in law, this wedding isn't real. Our love isn't real. Well, I say to those people, people have tried to stand in the way of love before and they have failed. Laws have changed. And history will be their judge. Brody. Brody, sit. Brody. Paul. Brody. Oh, you have shown me what love really is. And in these uncertain times, you've been my rock. And you've always been there for me. And I promise I will always be there for you too. I will love you in richer and in poorer, in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, until death parts us.
It's a shock, to be honest. The love, when it happens. I hadn't even held one till Lars was born. Lee kept on saying how he was so different to how they'd imagined. Like, good different. They weren't saying he was bad or anything. They were stoked, but it wasn't like that for me. I had no expectations. I never imagined him, never pictured him at all. Never even thought what it would be like to hold him, so everything was a shock, you know. The way he looked, the warmness of him, smallness, how soft he was. And everyone kept saying he was such a big fella, our boy, but he looked bloody tiny to me, miniature. He had little fingernails and eyelashes, and that's normal. I know that now, they've all got that, but he was really fucking tiny. Like, I thought I was gonna break him when I picked him up. said it's a shock. All that love rushing through you all at once. And it's scary because you want the world to be perfect for him. And you know it's not. And more than that, you want to be perfect. The way he is perfect, with no mistakes in him yet. You look at this perfect little thing and you know he deserves a perfect dad. You can see it, but all he's got is you. Just doesn't feel like enough. But then it hits you. You were that small once, with no mistakes in you yet. And maybe that's why my dad never stuck around, because he thought he wasn't good enough. Thought he wasn't perfect. And so you decide you're going to stay. Because it feels like a gift, this love you've been given. And you're going to do whatever it takes to deserve that. And you don't know if you can be that man that Lee and him deserve, but you're sure as hell going to try. Yeah.
So hun, for me, I just have a story. Feel free to use it. I just tell him I work at a nightclub. Collect the money, stamp the wrists, take the coats, give a ticket, fake smile. And when it's lockout, I collect the glasses, serve the drinks, do the dishes, clean the spew, give back the coats, all of the mundanes. Not too much detail, but I know the details in my head. That's what you got to work out, your story. It just avoids judgment. We're not working the door, more like the doorknob. Knob being the operative word. They're all knobs. Turn it this way and that, jiggle, jiggle, wriggle, wriggle, giggle, giggle. Collect the money, fake smile. Situation's switched up now though. No clubs open. New story. Catering for parties. COVID-19 parties, which is true. Social distancing. Catering to these dickhead egos. Pretend you want to fuck them. Mind you, there are some you might want to fuck. Fuck boys. Just remember that they're fuck boys. You're not here to find a boyfriend. You are top shelf. Great words. They're not mine, but I share them with you. If he can't deliver you the top shelf goods, well, he's not the one. You are. Remember that. Value yourself because they don't. And they won't. You're not here for them to just call you their paycheck. You're not their blankie comforter. To them, you're just a stripper. They think you're in love with them or they're in love with you, but all they want to do is just fuck you, fuck a stripper. Sure, they might think they want to marry you, but in reality, how you make your money soon wears off, and they're just jealous, angry anchors. And you don't need that. I certainly don't. Fake smile, giggle, jiggle, wriggle, get the cash. But stay safe. Scan the room, use your radar, know where the security is. Tony's a good guy, and I'm here. Try not to go to the toilet alone. Carry your phone somewhere on you. I carry mine here. And if you have to go to the loos and they're snorting their coke, don't share. Know they want you off the tap so they can devour you. And the glass pipe, I've seen beautiful, stunningly strong women brought down by that shit. My advice, steer clear. I mean, it's all your choice. But remember what you're here for. To make money. Stay safe. I just got to get the cashola, stay sober, get a ride home, get some Z's, pick up my boys, soccer, food, lunches, homework, washing, story time, reset, start again for next week. So my lovely, just get through tonight. What do you think?
Who tells us who we should love? I've never understood that. Such a strange thing to police. What difference does it make to you? It doesn't. Well, except you might get a smile as you pass a stranger on the street. If you prefer a frown, then go ahead and be a judgmental cock. It won't have any impact on the people living happier lives. It'll just make you small and jealous and so bloody boring. I mean the sad kind of boring. Twitter boring. Pub meal boring. Comfy chair, a bong and a Bible boring. The kind of boring that people suffer out of pity for a minute or so and then laugh about for days. Don't be that kind of boring. And don't blame Jesus for your bullshit. By all means, go to church. The songs are catchy, but don't blame a nice man for your deflating self-worth. He taught you to love. He taught you to be generous. He really fucking tried to make it crystal clear that you don't get to judge other people. I feel sorry for him. You write a book of mystery and depth and metaphor, and then your fans just skim read it and reach their own conclusions. It's like Moby Dick. Everyone says they've read it, but we all skipped at least a third. So many of my generation went that way. Bitter boring, hateful boring, cliched, asinine, lost your social currency 35 years ago boring. I decided that I would be interesting, or try. That doesn't mean I'm right about everything, but I'm cheerful about the mistakes I make and I put effort into fixing them. I'm not politically correct, I don't even know what that means. But if I hurt someone, I apologise. If I assume something or misconstrue something or make someone's day less than it should have been, I step up, I own it, and I learn. It's called having manners. It's called being human. Not hard, not a riddle, not an imposition or a threat to free speech, not even close to rocket science, because most of us are born empathetic, so toddlers get this stuff. It's just basic feeling, it's just getting on with it. It's just... That's how I found Kid, in a roundabout way. The ugliest dog in the shelter, the laziest, the fattest, hair lip, mismatched ears. They say his mother was a Rottweiler and his dad was mostly Whippet. I don't know. There's something else in there and it ain't pretty. But he's got those eyes. Those warm biscuit eyes. Hurt but still hopeful. Eyes that have seen too much. And when he looks at you, you know he gets it. He gets you. We treat living creatures like old shirts, like old books, old shoes. Everything and everyone is disposable, refundable, swappable, forgettable. Someone put him in a cage and didn't look back. If I ever met that person, I'd hit him. They'd probably have their own story and I'd be the villain, but I don't care. A decent person stands by their friend. He changed the way I see the world. He changed me. I'm not calling it a religious experience or a great love affair. I mean, he stinks a lot of the time. My brother makes me wash him weekly, which we both hate, and he always finds fresh shit to roll in, and he snores, he wheezes. It's actually frightening. But he did. He changed the way I see the world. He changed what beautiful means. And I didn't stop there. I've got 3 pigs. They were supposed to be teacup sized, and someone decided to butcher them when they grew too big until I swooped in and gave them my side yard and a part of my sunroom. I've got a goat, cheaper than a gardener. I've even got a tortoise. No reason. He's just there. Who tells us who we should love? Here, boy. Come on, yeah. Come on, yeah.
They say eyes are windows to the soul. They're not, they're just little balls of water, protein and jelly. Shakespeare knew that. Out, vile jelly, where's thy lustre now? That's Lear, King Lear from King Lear the play. Well, it's not actually King Lear, it's the Duke of Cornwall from King Lear the play by Shakespeare. He's gouging the Earl of Gloucester's eyes out. Not the Duke, not Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a sweetie. You know the sonnets, right? It's the same guy. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. He was right about that, because the bit that you can see is actually 3 bits, the sclera, iris, and the pupil. Pupil's more like a black hole than a sun. It sucks everything in and shoots it out to the optic nerve. Have you ever thought about how much the eye is like a galaxy floating in space? Black hole in the middle and then the iris like a swell of stars around it. Sorry, I'm a bit of a nerd. Well, actually, I'm a biochemist, but we don't like to say that, do we? Women, I mean. Yeah, 200,000 years of conditioning to put men at ease and really has its effects. Have I said sorry yet? We do that too. Make ourselves small and inoffensive. Which is a bit of a joke when you think about it. I mean, here I am, a woman at a bar, alone at night with a guy I don't know, and I have to convince you that I'm not a threat. I mean, no offense, but online dating. It's more like swimming with sharks than Cinderella's ball. I mean, I'm sorry, you seem nice. Your profile said that you like cats and Audre Lorde, which might not just be virtue signalling. But this, I mean, it's not exactly. My parents broke up last year. Yeah, you get to a certain age and you think, well, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. 20, 25, 30. Surely you're safe now. Surely you can't end up like half of your school friends after all this time. And they just go ahead and do it. The valedictorian and the half-forward who met at the school dance, they just go and write the wrong ending to the best love story you've ever known. And it makes you feel so small. You think an adult would have seen it coming, right? Like an adult would have seen something, indifference, resentment. Only a child could have missed all the many signs that must have been there. And somehow your whole life rearranges itself around this fracture, this break in your foundational mythology. And if the one thing that you truly thought was true, that your parents were happy, turns out to be a lie, where does that leave everything else? Don't answer that. I'm a scientist. My PhD supervisor used to say that mathematics is the only absolute truth we have. Then again, she thought the Big Bang Theory was funny, so. Well, I think that's it, the 36 questions. I'm not sure I really answered the last one. I think you're supposed to advise me on my personal problem, but you know what, I'm good. So let's just skip to the end bit, the staring. It's 4 minutes. I'll set a timer. You don't have to. Actually, I'd prefer if you didn't. So, let's just keep going, okay?
How was my day, Kevin? Kevin, mate, I'm head over footy boots now. I mean, I did get my knock blocked off, but I got my block knocked off playing footy for the Hectorville Hounds. Woo woo! Hence the pickup from the new RAR, which must have been a nightmare. For you, I mean, not me. I count my lucky moons, I was seeing stars. I don't even remember them sending me to the hospital from the Thebby Oval. So it's probably best they did, eh? Oh, when I got there, they wheeled me straight into the ER. And I was attended by one of Earth's bloody angels. Oh, she took me in, gave me healing that I needed. Nothing like Laura. I don't normally go for brunettes, but it was her eyes, Kev. They're all gold and blue and grey, pulsing, like a magical lake from a myth. Can't remember which one, but Jesus, she had a great pair of tits. It reminded me of an old flame I used to have when we used to, work. She used to work for the McGrath Foundation, but I had to give that dalliance up when I moved into the Department of Justice and Equality. It felt like a conflict of interest or something. Shame. She had a righteous pair of knockers. Oh, but Kev, this nurse, she was more stressed than a cat in a duffel bag filled with water, and she didn't want a bar of me. Oh, I got wheeled in looking like a llama lost at sea, and she scowled at me, saying, do I think that playing footy during lockdown and getting knocked out was worth it? Oh, I replied to her, I said, my dear, anything for you. Oh, she rumbled and grumbled, saying that the state health department's priorities were all messed up, and I just got lost in her hair. The colour of her hair was like those marble brown couches that you see, from the 70s, the leather ones. Yeah, it was all thin and had these crinkly curls that mattered to her hair. She looked like a Victorian handmaid. Oh, god damn. Kev, those eyes. They could just melt a heart from 10,000 centimetres away. She tells me I need to put ice on the point of impact. That I need a rest, but keep the heart pumping, No problem there, I said, thanks to her. She tells me, all right, get this, all right? She tells me I should consider this whole thing a sign from the gods. She thinks that I shouldn't be playing sports during lockdown. She thinks it's stupid that amateurs play contact sports. She's so fiery and feisty about talking about football. I love it. Maybe I'm imagining it. But you know what? Maybe she is right. Maybe it is a sign from the gods. Maybe she's my new goddess. Hey, I should get knocked out again next week. Yeah, we're playing Brahma Lodge, and they got a little shitty halfback who's... I'm going to be seeing stars by half time, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, when I get knocked out, she's going to treat me, and then I'm going to ask for a number. Or maybe I should get her name first, Laura, yeah. Yeah, I'll ask for a number and see if she's interested in getting the post-lockdown, post-concussion coffee. Yeah, that's a good plan. I'll just make sure I don't take my missus to the next game, Kev. Yeah, do you think that's good? How about you, love? Shit. Forgot you were here, Laura. Kev, speed up, will you, mate?
So I'm on this bus here, an older model, the ones where the seats at the back all face each other, and I'm sitting next to this lovely Middle Eastern woman with a baby and just the most energetic toddler. And the bus is full, and she is clearly just so stressed because her toddler is bored and wants to play, but her hands are literally full with her baby. And people are staring, clearly judging her parenting because, you know, racism. So I start pulling funny faces at this kid, because fuck off. You don't get to be a dick about a toddler being a little bit bored and rowdy when you can clearly see their mother is doing the best they can. And I'm terrified, because people sure can be a bit weird about this situation interacting with kids. But it's fine. The mum seems relieved, and the kid is finding my face very funny, which, you know, fair. My face is pretty funny. And we start chatting a bit, the mum and I. And there's enough of a language barrier where a lot of it is just smiling at each other, that it feels nice. And the other people on the bus stop staring at her, so mission accomplished, you know. And she stops stressing, and she has the time to focus on her baby as I'm playing with her toddler. And it's weird, because she's so willing to trust that I can take care of this child, and I am not used to that, and I'm a bit confused. But then her baby starts to slumber, and it all makes sense as she turns to me, and she gently puts her hand on my knee and just says so overwhelmingly earnestly, just so earnestly, she says, "You're gonna make a great mother one day." And look, like, part of me wants to laugh and make jokes about the fact that I sure am sterile these days and never cryogenically froze any of my jizz back when I still did that. So, you know, kids sure aren't gonna happen. And anyway, I don't want them. And even if I did, mother is just definitely not the title that would suit me. Don't really think our language has one that would. But mostly I'm scared. You're gonna make a great mother one day. Like, she's mistaken, but it also feels nice to hear. I feel loved. This moment, I just feel loved. People used to say I'd make a pretty good father. Used to get that all the time back when I looked more man. I don't know. I guess I started looking more me, and those come straight up. And people started not really wanting me around their kids anymore. Often I don't even think they're aware of the ways they get defensive or subtly move their kids away from me in a way that they wouldn't have if I wasn't. You know? But I notice you're gonna make a great mother one day. So I make the choice not to correct her. Because it's been a long time since a stranger trusted me around kids this much, and I don't want to take the chance of ruining that by having her realize I'm not a young woman, that I'm not what she thinks I am, who she thinks I am. And so I play with her toddler, and I ignore my worries, and we try to keep chatting despite the occasional barrier of our languages. She seems like a really good mum. And then my bus stop is here, before theirs. So I get up and we smile at each other and I wave goodbye to the toddler and I make sure to pull one last funny face right as I step out the door. And the bus rumbles off down the street. I'm not a man. And I am not a woman. And I don't ever want to be a parent. But fuck. I'm still good with kids, you know?
Yeah, I've got a lot of people. I've got a lot of people who care about me. They're going to be pretty disappointed to hear that I did this. I want to apologise to each and every one of them. Guess I got a few screws loose. Never really knew to all of this. Not quite ready to bring it down just yet. They're trying to talk me down, reminding me of my wife. She's going to understand why I did this, though, you know? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot. They said my eyes weren't perfect enough. I was never allowed to learn to fly. It is bizarrely beautiful up here. You don't get this kind of view in economy. A kid whose eyes weren't good enough to be a pilot ended up becoming a plane mechanic. They're incredible beasts. You really feel their power when you're standing beneath them, all that steel and strength. And then they let them sit there for months grounded like caged birds. We deserve to be up here. Damn, I wish I knew how to turn that thing off, the radio. Maybe they can help me. They keep begging me to turn this thing around, bring it back, land it. I think I might fly over the Bight. I've never made it over there before. Always wanted to see it. I put a little extra fuel in to make the round trip. Anyone want to tell me where I can find my fuel consumption? Man, I feel like I'm burning up a little faster than I thought. You know in war movies when they do those barrel rolls and loops? I wonder... Yeah, I think I can make it. It's even more surreal upside down. The sea becomes my sky, and in this light of day, It's impossible to distinguish between the two. Except the sea has limits that don't exist up here. Oh, that scared them. Guys, I promise I'm not going to drown your plane. I've practiced for this. I've played plenty of video games and flight simulations. Bring her down? I don't know, mate. I was kind of hoping there'd be more to this. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Is there any way I can turn you guys off? It's just got to be an adjustment to the cabin pressure. It's got to be labelled somewhere. Well, that's no good. Hey, there's something following me. Is that you? No, I'm not ready to bring the plane down just yet. Guys, I promise I'm not going to hurt anyone. It is just so... Oh, beautiful. I needed to do this. My wife, she'll understand. I needed to feel this rush. I needed to fulfill this. You know, if they'd just let me do this back then I could have had a real love up here in the clouds. Hey, I want to talk to my wife. Can you put her on? I don't think that I can land it. No, just, can you put her on or something? I don't know how this works. Can you record it? Hi, honey. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring it down. The truth is, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know I had to do this. I had to.
What do you call this? Not home on time, not home by 11, not trust us mum promise mum my ass. No, I don't want to hear it. You don't say nothing. You just sit yourself down right there and listen to me. All right? Comfy? You're going to want to get comfy, because I've got a fair bit of something to be saying, all right? You told me the party was at Sam's house. Sam's house, you said, just down the road. Sam's house, whose number I have and whose mother I know. Great, ripper. You lot get a night out, I get a night in. Everyone's happy. So what do you think runs through my head when I get a call from Sam's mum asking me if I knew where the party was tonight and if I knew how everyone else had planned on getting home? Then to top it all off, and I know you're going to be real surprised because I'm sure you wouldn't have had a clue about this little mix-up before you went out tonight. She congratulates me on you getting your licence and putting all your hard-earned savings towards a second-hand car. Says I must be so proud. No, don't you look away. You can look right here, thank you very much. You can feel as sick to the stomach as I did. And I'm sitting there listening to Sam's mum bang on about how proud I must be, and running through my head is our conversation in the kitchen yesterday. And I'm thinking, surely I didn't miss something. Surely I heard you right. You were standing in the doorway and I was at the sink cleaning up after you lot, I might add, and you told me there was a party at Sam's house, you'd be home by 11, nothing big, just a couple of mates. Nothing about a car, nothing about a licence, nothing about you being too young to even get a licence. Then I stopped thinking and I asked Sam's mum about this car, and she says green's not really her colour, but that you look so good in it leaving her place this afternoon. Then I start wondering where the hell you are and why Sam's mum not only thinks you have a licence, but that this mystery green car belongs to you. Then I start thinking about all the dickheads on the road and how the street lights past the T-junction don't always come on after dark, and how they were predicting rain, and how second-hand cars mean second-hand brakes and second-hand wheels, and second-hand brakes and second-hand wheels means sliding off the road into the nearest tree, means I'm hearing second-hand from a cop about you being involved in a crash in your green fucking second-hand car. Now you are going to get your ass into that kitchen right now, and you are going to have the biggest drink of water you have ever had in your life. Do you hear me? You are going to shower and you are going to sleep, and we will talk about this tomorrow. No! I don't want to hear it right now. We will talk when I have stopped thinking about all the ways that you might not have come home to me tonight. Understand?
I was looking for the key for years. The key to a successful relationship, worthiness, satisfaction in life, to the feeling of being complete, to love. Love still remains the most successful parameter in defining life in its truest form. About a decade and a half ago, I idolised platonic love. I had a dream boy and loved meeting him there. Those germs of puberty would send sensations all over the body, yet I experienced them from a distance. Ah, platonic love. You can be born rich, but what about those bad decisions you take? Those wrong choices you make? Why does running a rat race sometimes look so existentially important? I did that too, and used the body as the key to love. But I realised that that tool wasn't enough. So I, in all honesty, used all the female traits to make a strategy for the use of love. After all, it's not enough to possess a key if you don't know which way to turn it. Not all locks are built the same, you know. And through this experience, I felt I had cracked the code. In a eureka moment, I declared, love is pain. Yes, I felt love. I felt pain by making love, both physical and on a different plane. But it did not give that feeling that I was needing but couldn't describe. In the process, endorphins were definitely released, but somewhere deep in the heart, a craving persisted. Left brain and right brain were in a constant fight. But oh, what confidence did I carry up in the sleeve in those days? And nobody knew love better than I did. And then drama happened. Drama is important. Life without drama is not so lifelike. In a new, much celebrated chapter, just when I had started to live a dream reality which many envied, I read somewhere that love is reaching climax. G-spot, aka love, is hard to find every time. There was something still missing other than spotting the spot. I was looking for a rescue plan. The library where I was reading all these random theories about love. A Sufi mystic, Rumi, accompanied by many of his grade, sitting on a shelf, sent out some clues. Sometimes you hear a voice through a door calling you. This turning towards what you deeply love saves you. So, not caring about the key, I turned towards the door, only to find the door was always open. I was love.